Peace was good. This is Hip Hop Album Review Part 18. Before I start, I thought I'd show you guys something. Right here I got the Organized Confusion t-shirt that I copped at the boot camp at the Duck Down at 15th anniversary concert last year. But without further ado, here's the first song for today. Is True by the record by True, also known as the real Untouchables, which is Master P's old group. For those who don't know who True are, or the real Untouchables, they're Richmond, Virginia, New Orleans / Richmond, California based hip hop group. They came out with first 2 albums. They got their start back in '92. They released an album in '92 and an album in '93. They were independent, but then in 1995 they released this album, True. And to me, this is their breakthrough album because of the song "I'm About It," which was the only single on the album. This album definitely broke ground. Definitely, well, in the southern hip hop community, things like that. And this was actually the first album that they were on like a major record label, even though they were under No Limit Records, but they were under Priority Records. And you guys should know Priority Records with Ice Cube, Razzcast and his early albums and shit like that. You know what I mean? But pretty solid album. If you like mid '90s G-funk hip hop, West Coast hip hop, you would definitely enjoy this album. This is True. Released in 1995, and this album is actually out of print. Then, you got Dr. Dre's second album, The Chronic 2001, Chronic 2001 or whatnot. You guys should know who Dr. Dre is. I'm not gonna get into his whole biography. You guys should know him from the NWA and all that. This is the second album. This is 7 years after the original Chronic that came out in 1992, and he came out with this. This is after he left Death Row Records back in '96, and then in 1996 he released a compilation album called The Aftermath. Dr. Dre presents The Aftermath. A lot of people think that's the second album. It's not. It's a compilation of his Aftermath records, because after Death Row he made up Aftermath Records, and it was people that was under Aftermath Records at the time, and then he just put them on the album and stuff like that. So that's more of a compilation album. So this is like his real second album. Pretty solid album. It's a classic album by many. Nothing groundbreaking as far as like the subject matter. I mean, it's nothing new when you talk about drugs, violence, sex, all that crazy shit. But singles this album is known for are Still DRE, which was a big single nationwide. Forgot About Dre, and The Next Episode. Also, songs like What's the Difference, which wasn't really a single, but it still got radio play. You know what I mean? But this is Dr. Dre. Stepping his lyrics, his game up, his pen game up. Let me not say that because as far as like delivering it, I should say, because it's been noted that people have written for Dr. Dre, and that's no secret. You know what I mean? But definitely a must-have in your collection if you're a fan of 90s hip hop, you're a fan of West Coast hip hop, or just hip hop in general. Must-have in every hip hop head's collection. Even if you don't like hip hop, I guarantee you would like this album just based on the production. Definitely, this is the Dr. Dre I like. The Dr. Dre I like is from the '90s. When his beats were like darker, they were gritty, and then just things of that nature. This is Dr. Dre 2001, released in 1999. Must have in your collection. Then we got Onyx, their third album, Shut 'Em Down, released in 1998. This was 3 years after the second album, All We Got Is Us, which I will review in a little bit. Nothing to it. They left off just right from All We Got Is Us. Definitely a must-have in your collection, as well as this. nothing groundbreaking. You know, I mean, it's groundbreaking, but you know what I mean by that. But you know, singles I was known for Shut 'Em Down, React, which shows a young 50 Cent, and it's actually 50 Cent's first appearance on Wax, and they actually have a video for that, which I'll post down the link for that as well. It's like it's the video when they're in a hockey, they're playing hockey, and you see them in a hockey jersey. You see a young fat chubby 50 in a hockey outfit or whatnot, and you know they do their thing. And the worst with Raekwon, Method Man, and Killer Sinner from Killer Army. Pretty solid track. The song is like I think like, let's see how long this song is. It's a long song. It's like about, I think like 10 minutes or some shit like that. I don't remember. It's been a while since I heard that song, but definitely a must-have in your collection. If you're a fan of Onyx, like I am, at least their earlier stuff, you know what I mean? Unlike, you know, Back to Fucked Up Part 2 and Trigonometry, which both albums are out of print, by the way, because those albums weren't really that good anyways. But again, all you need is the first 3 albums and you should be good, you know what I mean? You should be complete as far as like the Onyx catalog. That's just in my opinion anyways. But this is Shut 'Em Down, released in 1998, must have in your collection. And we got my man Jeru the Damaja, The Sun Rises in the East. Dope album cover, by the way. You know, as you can see, you know, the World Trade Center, rest in peace, World Trade Center, the Twin Towers for people that know. This was inspired by because in '93, before the World Trade, they actually tried in 1993. They actually did a World Trade. They tried bombing the World Trade Center, but you know, they failed. The people died. The people that tried blowing up died. They crashed into the garage and they killed themselves pretty much. And you know, they were unsuccessful, things of that nature. And that's why I was inspired by the album cover. Pretty solid, I like that. See Jeru right here by the Brooklyn Bridge. I love this. I like that dark, gritty, you know, like that orange sky at night. I like that. It's pretty dope. But anyways, back to that Jeru the Damaja. For those who know who Jeru the Damaja is, he's an MC from East New York. You gotta start back in the mid '80s. He met Guru back in the days, back in the '80s and stuff like that. I think they went to high school together or whatever. I think that was the key. No. They met each other somewhere. I forgot where. I don't remember where. But you gotta start back in the mid '80s, whatever. You know, it's freestyling, doing ciphers around the hood and stuff like that. And then fast forward to 1992, Gangstar released their Daily Operation album, classic album by the way, must have in your collection. And his first appearance was on the song I'm the Man, and that was his first appearance. And that was also Lil Dap's first appearance on Wax as well. And then fast forward to 1993, he released his first single, Come Clean, which is also appeared on this album too. And then fast forward to 1994, you have this album, Come Clean. I mean, The Sunrise in the East. Singles I was known for is Come Clean, the original, and You Can't Stop the Prophet. Pretty solid album. Must have in your collection. This is a must have in your collection. If you're a fan of old gritty New York hip hop, Brooklyn hip hop, if you're a fan of Primo's beats in like the Hard to Earn era, then you would definitely enjoy this album. Definitely a must have in your collection. If you're a fan of Primo, if you're a fan of Gangstar, definitely a must have in your collection. This is Jeru the Damaja, Sunrise in the East, released in 1994, Westside collection. Then we got Westside Connection, Bow Down, released in 1996. Definitely a classic album, West Coast hip hop album, must have in your collection. Westside Connection consists of members of Ice Cube, Pt.18, and WC. They met each other back in the early 90s, back in the day. They got together back in 95. Pt.18 released his first album, self-titled Pt.18. They made a song called Westside Slaughterhouse, and reason being is because of the fact that Common made a song called I Used to Love Her, and it was talking about the state of hip hop at the time, how the West Coast was like dominating, and they took it the wrong way. They was like, no, you're trying to the West, you're trying to say the West, because at the time the West Coast was dominating hip hop, especially in the early to mid 90s, and they kind of felt like they took offense to Common's lyrics to that song. And so they made the song Westside Slaughterhouse, dissing Common. And then in 1996, Common released a song called The Bitch and You, which was dissing the Westside Connection, the whole Ice Cube, and all those people. And in my opinion, Common really murdered them, in my opinion. If you listen to that song, you'll see what I'm talking about. But enough of that. We got the album Bow Down, released in 1996, like I said before. Singles this album was known for Bow Down and Gangsters Make the World Go Round, which both have videos, by the way. What's interesting about this album, this was like around this is like right in the peak of the East Coast West Coast beef that they had back in the day. What's crazy about this is that songs like King of the Hill, Cross the Mount, and Put a K are all disses to Cypress Hill. You know what I'm saying? Because they had beef with that. They all had beef with Cypress Hill. And Cypress Hill, I forgot what song they made. I think they made the same song, which uses the sample of King of the Hill as well. I think they just grabbed the instrumental and they just made a song, and then later on they dissolved the beef, thank God, because we don't need any more beef in hip hop. I mean, if you're gonna have beef, keep it on wax, and I'm glad they did that, because nowadays, people will go on Twitter and just like, just talk shit, like just go on, keep it on wax, keep the beef on wax, you know what I mean? But anyways, this is a solid West Coast hip hop. This is West Coast to its fullest. Definitely a must have in your collection. This is Westside Connection, Bow Down, released in 1996, must have in your collection. Then you have the X-Ecutioners, Built from Scratch, released in 2002. Excuse me. For those who don't know what the X-Ecutioners are, they were a DJ group that got their start back in the early 90s. They were pretty popular in the New York underground circuit. They were entering like the DMC, the DMC record scratching competition that they have, excuse me. And they were known as the X-Men, for a while, until like the mid 90s, where they had to change their name due to like copy infringement from the X-Men comics, you know what I'm saying, from Marvel, and they changed the name to X-Ecutioners. And then in 1997 they released Expressions, which is is considered a classic, an underground classic in the underground. Unfortunately the album was out of print, and then 5 years later they released this album, Built from Scratch, released in 2002. Dope album cover. This album cover is inspired from Public Enemy's first album, what's that album? Yo Bum Rush the Show, that was released in 1987. Definitely a must have in your collection. Paying homage to that. And saying, song like the orange surface, like the orange light, pretty dope. It gives it that real dark, ominous feel to it. You can see the late Rock Raider, God rest his soul. He passed away 2 years ago. From because he was into mixed martial arts, and he passed. He died from injuries he got into an accident from doing martial arts, so he died from his injuries and things of that nature. Passed away. But anyways, back to the album. Pretty solid album. People might think because it's the execution, it's just scratching over beats. That's not the case. I mean, you do have that, but then you have people that's featured on the album that's just rapping and stuff like that. It's pretty solid. The only singles this album has is It's Going Down with Linkin Park, and that was the only single. That song was pretty big. That was the reason why I bought this album, because before that I didn't know who the X-Ecutioners was, believe it or not. And I heard that song. I was like, yo, I had to go buy this. Bought it. Pretty solid album. Unfortunately, this song was actually out of print as well, because you would think that with that song this would be like a hot seller, but obviously it isn't. You know what I mean? You know how it is nowadays with hip hop. But this is X-Ecutioners, built from scratch, released in 2002. Must have your collection, you can find it. Let's see how much time I have left. Alright, still got enough time. The next album is Onyx's second album, All We Got Is Us, released in 1995. This is 2 years after Back the Fuck Up, that was released in 93. My opinion, their best album. They do all the beats this time. They self-producing the beats and stuff like. They make all the beats for themselves. Predominantly Federal Star. You know what I mean? I mean that shows you that these guys is talented. You know what I mean? And I think only 2 songs were. I think 1 or 2 songs were they were produced by Aguilar. You know, yes, the same Aguilar that was on part of Purple City, the same Aguilar who was known as Adolf Aguilar. At the time, he was known as Adolf, but he had to change his name to Aguilar due to Adolf, from Adolf Hitler. So he changed his name for that. But anyways, pretty solid album. Album is really dark in nature, no radio-friendly songs. With this album, they kind of went more political, semi-political. Dealt with like suicide, substance abuse and shit like that. Talked about racism. Had like a social, political vibe to it, but it was really dark. It had like a lot of paranoia, they talked about like the Illuminati. Yes, so this was before everybody's on the the Illuminati bandwagon, you know what I mean? But pretty solid album, must have in your collection. Singles this album is known for are Last Days, which they have a video for, Live Niggas, which that song was also on the 1995 soundtrack The Show by Def Jam, which is a documentary of all the Def Jam artists, go on tour and shit. Artists like from the East Coast and West Coast going on tour. It's a pretty solid. It's a pretty solid documentary, pretty dope. But anyways, and I believe that's it. And they had a video for Walk in New York, which was unreleased until 3 years ago. But anyways, this is definitely a must-have in your collection. If you're a fan of Onyx, if you're a fan of East Coast hip hop, fan of mid-90s hip hop like I am, you'll definitely enjoy this album. I'm gonna show you guys something. We got Onyx, 15 years of videos, history, and violence. This is a must-have in your collection. This is a documentary of, pretty much Onyx throughout the whole 90s to like the early 2000s. So you see them like ordered from 1993 all the way to 2008. And what's cool about this is that you get to see all of that. You see like live performances. You see them behind the scenes, like on certain on the videos. And oh yeah, and All We Got Is Us was also a single as well too, but you know it wasn't as big as Last Days. But anyways, you see you know the behind the scenes of videos, studio sessions, behind the scenes of videos, and you know live performances, and you know things of that nature, and autograph signings, and pretty dope. It's pretty solid. Must have for every hip hop head. Or if you're a fan of Onyx, you will definitely enjoy this. Or a fan of, you know, real hip hop, or a fan of Onyx Queens hip hop, you definitely enjoy this. This shouldn't be too hard to find. Like I got this at FYE, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. If they don't have it in the shelves, you know, order it. You know, they should have it, or wherever you buy your CDs at. Definitely a must have in your collection. Then the last song I'm gonna do for this review, I'm gonna do another one later on, is Wyclef Jean's The Carnival. You guys should know Wyclef Jean for the Fugees. I reviewed the first two, or the only two Fugees albums, I should say. You know, he was the leader of Fugees, and this is his debut album, released in 1997, The Carnival. Pretty solid album. I bought this the other day. I went digging. I went to a thrift shop, bought some VHSs, and then I was looking through the CD section, and I got this. I was like, okay. And when I copped it, singles I was known for are, well, let me get to the description of the album. It's a dope album because, like, you know, it's a mixture of different genres. You know, you have hip hop, reggae, folk, disco, soul, son cubano, which is it's Spanish music, but it's like a subgenre of, like, it's Spanish music, but it's like Cuban Spanish music. It's like a Cuban style of music and stuff like that. And Haitian music, compa, for all my Haitians out there, sans passer. But anyways, have this out, and that's what's cool about it. The singles design was known for Guantanamera, which features Celie Cruz, the late Celie Cruz, I should say. God rest your soul. She passed away back in 2003. Definitely talented, very enamored in the Latin community. Gone Till November, very famous song. You know, that's the one where he's in the airport and stuff like that. And We Trying to Stay Alive, which uses the Stay Alive, the Bee Gees sample from the Saturday Night Live Fever soundtrack. Dope soundtrack, must have in your collection. Great movie, by the way, and it's paying homage to that movie pretty much. You know, you see him in the suit that you know, John Travolta was using in that movie, things like that. You know, definitely a must have in your collection. If you're a fan of Fugees, you'll definitely enjoy this album. My opinion, this is like the last good album that he put out, because the Eclectic Book of Life was okay. It wasn't my favorite, but this album, definitely a must have in your collection. So that's it, people. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more. Peace.